Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Shannon Combs-Bennett, and I'm very excited to be joined today by AJ Jacobs. Many of you may have known him from the wonderful worldwide genealogy family tree group that you did last year. I know the
Global Family Reunion?
Global Family Reunion. I watched it with my Genealogy Society.
Ah, fantastic.
I was not able to get to New York, but and I loved your presentation last year. So it's been a continuation. I've been watching you and trying to figure out what's been going on.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm a fan of In-Depth Genealogist,
thank you.
Right back at you.
We like that. We like to know that somebody out there is paying attention to what we're doing.
I like it. It's a little opinionated for my, just kidding.
Oh,
it's great.
now.
Just kidding.
We
It's
try
great.
to keep our opinions in check. But one thing that my partners and I really wanted to know is what next big thing do you have coming up? Because, I mean, the worldwide global reunion, that was just so big, and there were so many participants, and everyone had so much fun. What's next?
Well, what's next is I'm a writer, so my job is writing, so I am supposed to write a book about that and about genealogy and my family. The deadline was 3 months ago.
Oh, no.
So I don't think I'm going to make it, but that is my plan. And hopefully there'll be another Global Family Reunion in 2017.
Oh,
that
would be great.
Take this year off to write, but that's the plan.
You know, I write, and I occasionally get called by the publisher to, you're behind. Where's the? So I completely understand.
Well, it's like, I think that's what we're supposed to do. We're just doing our duty, right? Because like if you meet a deadline, they're like, what's wrong with you?
Well, the book sounds really interesting, and especially for the people who were unable to participate, that'll be a great way for them to get involved next time, find out what it's all about.
Right. I'm very excited because as many people have said, this is the most exciting time in family history.
It is.
Ever. So it's just a cool topic, and I'll be writing about my own personal family, but I'll be writing about the DNA revolution. I'll be writing about these massive online forests that I love, where, on these trees with 100 million people, and I'm on it. You're probably on it.
Yep.
Barack Obama is on it. He's my fifth great aunt's husband's brother's wife's seventh great nephew. That's the only one I remember. But that is the actual. So it's fun to be able to connect. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Everyone's Kevin Bacon. That's the idea.
Yes, it is. And I have to say the connections, that is one thing. My children were very interested. I have 2 school-age children. One's in high school and one's in elementary school. Pray for me. But when I was telling them about your project last year, they were very fascinated by that. Well, how am I related to this person? Or, my youngest watches the Disney Channel. I want to know how I'm related to this Disney star. And I really loved how it connected to multiple generations, not just those who are diehard family historians.
It is totally, I agree with you 100%. It's so good for getting kids interested. Because, like, Eli Manning, the football player, I can connect to him. And sometimes I did a presentation for their class. My kids are about 9 years old, and I connected one of my sons to Taylor Swift. And I got in trouble because I guess that was not like...
Not cool enough?
No, I should have. I'm way behind, and maybe it's too girly. So if anyone asks, she is not related to Taylor Swift.
Mine periodically will still come up and want to know if I can find connections. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm that good. So I keep saying, you should go research AJ Jacobs. And which means when your book comes out, I'm going to have to buy an extra copy for them.
I love that. Well, one of my plans is that, in the acknowledgments, authors often think, I'm going to thank every member of my family. So I'll have like 100,000 names in 9-point font. It'll be like 200 pages of thanks.
There you go.
And hopefully everyone who is thanked will buy a book because they're like, oh, I got to buy a book.
That's right. Because if I'm in it, therefore I must buy it.
Right. So I'm actually not going to write anything but the thanks. It's just going to be thanks.
That works. And I have to say, I heard you say genetics. And as a genetic genealogist, that makes me happy. So hopefully it's an entire chapter, if not half the book. No, big stuff on genetics. Even more if you're willing to write that part for me. Oh, well, I don't know.
But I am fascinated. I mean, first of all, I had my whole genome sequence, the entire thing, by a friend of mine who's a geneticist. And And of course, I did the whole 23andMe thing, and it was did find out that I am my cousins with my wife, so that was, but more like sixth or seventh cousins.
Right.
So, I thought it was interesting. She was kind of freaked out.
That's one thing. I keep trying to prove that my husband and I are cousins. I know it's there somewhere.
Interesting. Yeah, sure.
We're cousins 3 or 4 times through a mutual friend, but so far.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Direct line, no. So that's
what's
good.
your ethnic background? Where do your ancestors come from?
I'm a very white girl.
Yeah?
I am mostly British Isles with a little bit of German, French, Swiss thrown in.
Nice. And your husband also very white?
My husband, his tests from all 3 companies come back at over 90% British Isles at each company.
So you gotta be related.
Yeah, he's very. I know his second great grandparents were Irish immigrants that came over in the late 1800s, and beyond that, he goes back. He has several Mayflower lines. He has a Jamestown line. He's been here for a very long time.
Very good.
I seem like the new one in the family.
Yeah, you are a recent immigrant.
Recent as the 1700s, yes.
There you go. Exactly.
But yeah, it's. Do you know where you're going to have the next one at? Have you started planning that yet?
I have started, just barely started. I mean, the last one, it was a full-time job for 6 months.
Oh, I'm sure.
Planning this because
and that one was in New York.
It was in
right?
New York. The main one was in New York. We had about 4,000 people in
Right.
New York, but then we had 40 parties around the world.
Right.
From California to New Zealand to Bulgaria.
Which is a wonderful idea to get everybody involved.
Well, I figure it's called the Global Family Reunion.
Right.
You got to do that. But and we had it was a crazy day. It was fun and stressful and weird and uplifting. So
everything a family reunion is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Except my family reunions usually involve swimsuits in a lake, but I assume that didn't happen.
That is nice. No, we didn't have that. We tried to have almost everything else. We had frisbee and origami and magic, like the magician David Blaine, but no lake. Next time.
Next time you have to have a lake. That's right. As long as
you
it's
have
warm.
to throw one of those 40 parties and have it at the lake.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can do that for you.
Excellent.
I will do that for you. Gosh, we're almost out of time. I can't believe it already. Thank you so much for joining us.
I love it.
I'm so glad to hear that you like the In-Depth Genealogist.
I'm
we
a
are
big
happy
fan.
to have that. And let us know how we can help you in the future.
Excellent. All right. Well, you are my cousin, so you kind of have to.
Family has to help family.
That's right.
Thank you all for joining us today, and I greatly appreciate you for listening.